I wouldn't say I'm particularly happy about where we have found ourselves as an industry. Just a couple of years back, we had great expectations and high hopes.
A lot of people don't believe in Nollywood. They don't believe. They'll be like, what are you people doing? Permit me, let me speak my language. Cannot shame them. But then again, you have to prove and let them know. Like, some people don't even know we make billions.
When a Nigerian film can be accessible to the bike rider,
Look at
the woman selling tomatoes in the market,
Right.
or the meat seller that can just take a chill or take a pause on their phone and watch a film for 100 naira. I feel like we will reach so many more people and make so much more money. Hi guys, my name is Adioluwa, aka Captain Degzy.
Hi guys, my name is Folakemi Bello. I'm a filmmaker. You're watching the State of Nollywood Industry Table Talk.
Brought to you by Shock Africa.
Dear industry friends, welcome to another interesting episode of State of Nollywood Industry Table Talk. I remain your host, Akitunde Oluwadamilare. And today, we're going to be talking about a powerhouse in the industry and how the name Nollywood has gone from years and years to growth, as well as its challenges, wins, setbacks, and trials. Today, I have very interesting guests in the cinema space who are also promoting the film, and they will be talking to us about the journey of making this film, and of course, what's next for the future of Nollywood. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, my very first question is, in terms of making a film or making a picture, especially for you, who is now an executive producer, right? I want to ask, why are you putting your money into making such a big film as The Benefactor?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question.
Nice.
Apart from passion, because I've always loved movie making, I've always loved filming, I've always loved acting.
Yes.
So apart from the passion, I think the Nollywood industry, entertainment industry as a whole, is lucrative. Is somewhere I can say you can put your money in. That's like the industry that generates the most revenue
Yes.
for us as a country. Like, if anything is not working in Nigeria, trust me.
Entertainment is working.
So yeah, so apart from the passion for filmmaking, is also an industry to put money in.
Awesome. I'm going to come back to that question because putting money in means there's a lot of risk, and then there's a lot of, can I make this money back and even make profits? I'll come back to that. But Captain, you've done lots of cinema films. I wanted to ask you what's different this time around, and how has been the journey of making this film called The Benefactor?
Thank you. Yeah, I've worked on a number of cinema films.
Yes.
The difference in this is that I have a skin in it. Or how do you put that?
Skin in the game.
I have a skin in the game.
Right.
Director and also an executive producer on this.
Amazing.
So I'm betting my own money on
You
this.
are. You absolutely are.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond all that, it's like she said, filmmaking is, it's a thing of passion. It's a culture that we have, let me put it as a taste we have come to acquire. And it's like drinking wine. Sometimes the wine is sweet, sometimes it's not.
Ooh.
It's an acquired taste. And once you are used to the terrain, you're interested in finding ways to figure out how to make it profitable while you are living your dream as a passionate filmmaker.
Right. Awesome. And I want to come back to you and also ask about, the business side of making films. I think you are in that right now. So when you were trying to look for maybe co-investors and you were trying to get a director, what was at the forefront of your mind that you wanted to achieve with this film?
Okay, so thank you. One of the things that I would say was a motivating factor for me is, like I said earlier, passion, and also talking to investors was a lot of people don't believe in Hollywood. They don't believe. They be like, "What are you able to permit me? Let me speak my language." Can one shame there? But then again, you have to prove and let them know. Like some people don't even know we make billions. So is it true? So yeah, so that's where it comes. So you have to like tell people like this is it. So it was a bit challenging, and I had to show them figures. Like you can put your money in it. We'll make the money. We'll get it. So yeah, and from the investor part out of it, and also the fact that you want to do something good, the fact that you want to be part of history
Yes.
for
Yes.
something you love.
Yes.
I think that would push you to want. You can even I can enter anywhere now and talk to anybody
Yeah. Now.
and say, "Oh yeah, please, this will work, bring money." So yeah, so that's one of the motivating.
Yes. And then talk to me in terms of selecting a distributor for this film. What were the conversations you had for picking a distributor, and how has that conversation gone so far?
Okay, so for picking a distributor, immediately even while we were still shooting, our distributor already showed interest in the project.
Amazing.
So we didn't even have to look for
What's the distributor, by the way?
Cinemax.
Cinemax. Oh, Opera. Okay. Good.
So while we're shooting, that was when he showed interest that, you know what, I love this. I want part of it. So we didn't have to struggle. We didn't have to go pitch our decks and say, this is the story we have. We already had Cinemax say, oh, we want to jump on this, and we're ready.
Awesome.
So it made the journey really easy.
Amazing. Oh, that's amazing, because I think getting your distributor early on is always a good way to navigate the cinema business. And coming to you, Captain Degzy, you've been in the cinema business for a while. I'm also so you've seen the front end of things, I've seen the back end of things. How are the back end of things right now in terms of return on profit and in terms of the politics behind cinema screens?
I'd like to say, I mean, someone asked me a question just before the interview that cinema or
Streaming platforms.
streaming platforms, and as difficult as it is to choose, I know that our cinema culture has not hit 100%. When I say hit 100%,
Right.
it's not like Hollywood when you release a movie and in a week you can boast of your ROI immediately, because
Right.
I mean there are different screens streaming immediately, and then there's also a global release of that film
Yes.
instantly.
Yes.
We have not broken, or we have not gotten there yet, but we'll get there. But the beauty of the audience coming together to scream together and watch
And
the
feeling the
film,
same emotions together.
on a big screen and on a 5.1 surround sound cannot be, you can't beat that with any other experience. And so I am very much in support of having my film first show in the cinema
Yes.
before before it goes to streaming, because I also want the world to see it. And yeah, so I mean, um, watching from both sides, both from the streaming platform and from the cinema
Platform.
platform, I'll say each has its own advantages and a few downsides. But I mean, at this point, because I mean, I would also like to analyze a few advantage of having your film break at streamers. You spend less money on
Yes.
marketing and publicity.
Yes.
As long as you've done a great film and it drops on the streamers, it just sort of, I mean, I'm not saying there's no publicity, but it takes a natural momentum, and I mean, people just begin to hear about it.
And word of mouth just
Word of mouth just spreads that faster. I can't say the same happens for the cinema culture, but like you said, we've seen films do extremely well in cinemas, even our own film. I mean, ALJ, Tribe Called Judas,
Yes. Yes.
and the likes have done remarkable numbers that even um, foreign films haven't hit yet.
Those are very good numbers.
So the fact that we can get there shows the opportunity, and it just shows everyone that you can do this. We just need to strategize and find a way around it.
So my next question to my guest is, in terms of acting, I hear that you've played Queen way before, and it's almost like a comeback to the big screen. So, or even to the general, playing a character. So tell me, your experience back then, and you playing an actor, being an actor now, and what are like the differences that you've noticed so far?
Okay, so back then, playing Moremi was, when you're young and you have the hunger, you want to go all out. It was an audition, and we did the audition, and I was picked, and subsequently, it was kind of difficult because then I just finished school, and I was trying to find that space, but then I had to leave because the finance wasn't there. And then, you had to go to location, and my parents were not really in support of me being an actress. So most times, the small money I get from home to feed myself or to do whatever in school, that's what I used to go from one location to go to Ibadan. So it was a bit tough. But now leaving and coming back, I'll say it's better. Acting wise,
Yeah.
I would say is also better because the confidence is there compared to when you just started. So there's more confidence, there's more improvements, like I schooled abroad. So it's way better.
Awesome. I also wanted to ask you, just to give a bit of background to people watching this. So tell me, where did you audition for Queen Moremi? Was it in a play, a stage, a cinema, or it was own video? Tell me all about that.
So it was on video. It was on video. It was we had the audition at National Theatres.
Wow, in Lagos here.
Yes, in Lagos. It was Moremi is a story about from Drew Ladipo family.
Okay.
So the Moremi character was played by Mama Drew Ladipo.
Okay.
The maid, how am I gonna put it? The younger was played by her daughter.
Okay.
I've forgotten her name. Also Ladipo. So I was the only one that was in the Ladipo family.
Wow.
And it was owned by them.
Wow.
Yeah.
He owned that story, or it was just a legacy of.
So I think it was written by Drew Ladipo.
Oh, so you mean the screenplay, the script?
So, yeah, everything. So from then I've done a couple of things, and also from Super Story.
You were on Super Story.
It's Life, Papa Jasko.
Wow.
And also my boss is Adebayo Tijani. So I did a couple of Yoruba movies before I left the scene. Then I came back. I did presenting. There's this talk show that was on African Magic, Amekoraje. So it was when I finished that.
Okay.
That
And you've been everywhere. Home video,
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
and now cinema. You're doing amazing. Well done. So I want to talk about the sustainability of Nollywood right now. And we can start from a mini question and go from a mega question. Are you happy with the industry right now?
I wouldn't say I'm particularly happy about where we have found ourselves as an industry. Just a couple of years back, we had great expectations and high hopes as we had been launched on, very big stage, big platforms, and we were competing at par with films from all over the world. A year back, there's a bit of hesitation in, putting our films on this same pedestal, and it set us back a little. But I'm glad that we are very resilient people as an industry,
Yes.
and we are gradually, coming back and figuring out our own indigenous ways. It's been recently the launch of new platforms
Right.
that are set out to cater for our own films.
Yes.
And it's not just one or two. I think a couple of them are in the pipeline,
Right.
and
Ooh, there's more.
there's definitely more.
Wow.
And yeah, and this has created, when there is competition, there is room for improvement.
Right.
Everybody wants to do it right and do it better.
Right.
And I think that's the first step in a right direction for us. I'm also very optimistic and positive that when the international platforms see that we have put our home together,
Right.
they will be very much interested in coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
So it's a trying time for the industry,
Very trying time.
but it's not a time to give up. It's a time to keep pushing and showing the best that we can do, so that we don't even have to explain ourselves to the world before they run back to us.
Awesome. Now my mega question. So I want to pick two films from your filmography. One is The Griot and one is Asiri Ade. Both were direct to streaming titles, and I felt attention was given to one title than the other. I wanted to ask what are your thoughts on that before I share my thoughts.
I mean, I think that the grill is a how do I put it? This is such a setup. So the interesting thing about both stories were they were stories that I meticulously sat down and developed the story alongside great minds.
Yes.
And I really love those two stories.
Yes. Okay.
And the grill was the first to be released. It was almost the first of its kind, as at then. I don't think there had been any indigenous movie
The biggest hits hadn't come yet.
that come. The grill was the first. And in that year, the only film that did better than the grill on Netflix was The Black Book.
The Black Book, yes.
And The Black Book was a huge film. So I mean, that gave me the final conviction I needed
Yes.
to know that, I mean, the theme word is just do it. Just do it. So I mean, the grill kick started me.
Yes.
Asiri Ade was a more risk taking, big spending project.
We'll get to there.
And it also, it's so unique in its way. Like I am so proud of that project. Um, but interestingly, did not get as much, publicity. Because honestly, I feel like it didn't get as much visibility or publicity as it should. But then again, it was also a time in the industry that we were already struggling with finding um already set up platforms and already well visible platforms to take on our
I want to come in.
models. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think what you are struggling to say was in terms of finding an acquirer that would treat the film to its fullest and maximum visibility. I didn't think Asiri Ade was given that stage at all. And I felt probably that was one of your best works, but we'd never give attention to it. Or rather, the consumer or the average audience never give attention to it. And you taking that lesson as a filmmaker and also as an executive producer, like what did that teach you? Did that teach you that, direct to streaming is a no-no for me no longer? Or it was just a risk I venture new platform and that was just it?
Again, I'm still grateful for the platform that took the project, because when you have invested a lot and for a while everywhere just seems like there's no hope, you need to find ways. Like, I'm not the guy that sits down and thinks, oh, it's all over. We find a way, we count our losses or profits, we move on to the next. That's always the motto for me. So I mean, if they had the backing or the finances to do better, maybe we would have more visibility. Don't forget that that was also a new platform as at then, and it was Asiri Ade was one of the first projects to launch. So it was like we were pushing a film and pushing a platform simultaneously. So it was such a heavy task, and I mean I'm grateful that as many people as I've seen the film have very good things to say about it. So yeah, and again, like it's one of the as a filmmaker, that's one of the hard lessons you have to learn. It's not always going to go your way. It's not always going to be rosy. Sometimes you are going to have to, just count your losses and take it all in and come back with something good. At the end of the day, you have no other choice but to make something better. Like regardless of what you experienced,
Awesome.
in your previous projects.
Awesome. One more question before we start the pillar grading. What's the best good sign that you have seen while making the Benefactor and also pushing it to the cinemas?
So, while making Benefactor, I'd say the performance of the actors, bringing the characters to life, was one of the things that okay, so let me put it this way.
Right.
There's a pre to the so before we started shooting, trying getting funds, and all of a sudden the funds just came. I was like, okay, so you know what, you're on the right path.
We're doing this.
So when we got to set, some of the actors I was meeting for the first time, and by the time I saw the performance, the delivery, I knew that no, like when you have good casting, you know that you have a good story.
Amazing.
But now in post-production and now marketing, the big people are like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy I did this. So yeah, it's not been easy. Like I would say it's been worth it.
And you feel that you're getting enough support to push this film?
I'd say I wouldn't.
It's never
say
enough.
no. I wouldn't say yes. I will not say no. I've gotten good support. But is it enough? No.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Some places you have to pay. You're not paying. And I understand the fact that you have to pay. Nobody wants anything. I don't want to do anything for free. I want to pay for the service I get. Sometimes when you hear the prices, you'll be like, really? Supposed to pay this for this? So it's challenging. Yeah.
I know you're still spending money right now. and which also brings me to like marketing. You as an investor and also like an actress. You said something to me, Johnny.
Yeah. I said it earlier.
Yes.
Someone said, I said it's not been easy. He said, because of dancing. I'm like, I even want to dance if I have the time to dance.
What are you doing then?
It's a lot. It's a lot because you have to plan your premiere.
Right.
The kind of premiere you have, the bigger your premiere, the best. I would say I'm not going to use the word bigger. The bigger your premiere, the more showtimes you're going to get from the
So it's presence.
The bigger your presence, yes. The more showtimes you're going to get at the cinema. Now, you don't want to have your movie at 5 p.m. when you know people are going to come in by 2 p.m. and whatever movie they have available is what they're going to watch. So these things, for a premiere, you're looking at having guests. Let's just say, oh, I'm not around at this time. You have to deliver your invite. You have to make sure you have content to be able to push.
Yes.
It's in different areas.
Wow.
So this is just for the premiere. Now, looking at promotions on its own. You have to do what people love. People want to see you dancing. People want to see you doing skits.
Yes.
Skits makers, they charge a lot.
Wow.
So it's in like anything you can think of is there for you as a challenge to face. But then again, we can't stop. We have come this far. We can't stop. We have to keep doing.
Awesome. Coach, final wrap-up question to Captain Degzy before we go to the pillar grading. What's the film that you've done that has given you a very good amount of profit?
Profit? I think it's still the Griot.
Of course, it's getting really great. It's still the great. So now I'm going to ask my very, very knowledgeable guests to tell me what they think in terms of the key pillars of the industry and how they grade them. So we have 5, which is the highest mark, and 0, which is the lowest mark. And you would tell me how do you grade these certain pillars based on your experience so far as an actress, as an executive producer, and also a film producer, as Degzy. That name itself, gone. If you call Degzy, is giving money. So, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. So my very first pillar is infrastructure and production capacity. I want to ask you, how will you grade the industry in terms of the number of studios that we have, the number of technical resources, the number of quality of post-production studios, as well as number and competencies of production houses? Please take your cards.
Just gonna sit somewhere in the middle.
3. Tell me why the middle.
So I think there's still a lot for us as an industry to achieve. We have a few well-trained, skilled individuals. We are getting better with gear support and technical support, but we are not close yet. I mean, I don't think there's presence of any soundstage yet in Nigeria.
There is actually, but not enough.
Okay, yeah. So you see that I don't know about it.
So there's a Russian tap.
Russian tap.
Yeah. There's also what you may call it. There's one other couple of other sound stages. But go ahead. Sorry.
And the capacity at which they can function again.
Right.
That's another thing. And then that's just one example in many. I have seen that post-production has been a bit of a challenge. I mean, I can name a couple of good post-production outfits, but are they sufficient to cater for the industry? Not really. Post-production, and then I say post-production, I'm talking color grading, sound design, and all of those elements. So I think we are moving in the right direction, bro. We are still, I'll keep us halfway. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's move to the next pillar, which I'll have a second guest grade, is talent pool and creative development. So how would she grade the industry in terms of availability and training of actors, directors, cinematographers, as well as writers, access to film schools and workshops, and support for screenwriting and storytelling culture? Please take your cards.
I'm in between 4 and 5.
Wow, when you have to pick one and show it to the camera.
Okay.
Of 4.
I'll give you the 4.
Right.
And the reason I'm going to give you the 4 is when it comes to talent, we have good talents.
Absolutely.
Schools, we have good schools. But I think we can do better. That's the only reason I'm not going to give you the 5. Yes. We can do better because we still have, like now, when you go for trainings, there's some how am I going to put it? There's some things that are available for you outside of the country that you can train with, some resources that you can have. But back here, we do not have it. So that's why I'm not going to give it a 5. But giving it a 4 is because we have the talent, we have you need to see the directors we have. Talents, we have good actors. You're not going to say you want to cast, you have a film you want to cast for, and you can't find someone to play the race. That's the lie. Except you can't pay. So we have the talent, we have the schools. We have
To an extent.
Yeah, to an extent. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next pillar, which I'm very sure Captain has a lot to say, is funding and investment. So Captain, how would you rate the industry to access public and private financing, presence of grants and tax incentives, as well as investor confidence and the risk appetite for local film projects.
Take it.
Captain, please take your card. He should have card. Tell me more.
I and it's and it's a sad thing. Because I can almost tell you that most of the projects we have embarked on, and maybe this is my own experience. I stand to be corrected. Funding has been sourced mostly privately, between family friends and families. Trust me, and all of that. And it's been. I trust me. I've attempted to, how do I put it? Get some grants and possibly because
Grades is like
yeah,
it's not a loan.
it's not a loan exactly, and it's not been easy. It's not that they are not available. It's just the terms and conditions to even securing such things are so stiff. It's not user friendly.
I like that.
Yeah. And so, and then there's also a cap to as much as what you can get, which may not sufficiently fund what you're trying to do. Apart from this cap, there might now be some other clauses that just makes it even more difficult to even take it if they put it on the table. So I think what needs to happen is that we need to have proper dialogue with the financiers.
Yes.
To properly understand how the film industry works,
Right.
what is attainable, how long is required for a turnout for a project, and what's required to actually, because it's almost like the more you can actually put in, the better your chance, or the better chance you stand at placing yourself at that position where you're playing at par with the international
The best of
world,
the best.
the best of the best. So
Awesome. So one more pillar for you, and then we'll wrap up with our queen. Hope you're not. If you don't mind. Distribution and exhibition. So Captain is going to grade the industry based on reach of domestic films in cinemas, streaming platforms, and TV. He's also going to grade the film industry in terms of local film festivals, as well as quality and number of theaters, multiplexes, and distribution networks. Basically, if a lot. Yes. Distribution and exhibition. Please take your card.
okay,
Right.
we are in an era where we now get to showcase our films on
Yes.
good platforms. Like our films travel now
Right.
for film festivals.
Yeah.
We get international screenings. We get acquired,
Yes.
or licensed, as the case may be.
Right.
And I think that has given us good visibility. It's not saying that we have done the best yet. Yeah, we are getting there.
Awesome.
Second one is grade in terms of
Reach of domestic film. So whenever a film goes to the cinema or streaming platform and TV, does it reach the peak which is meant to reach?
I have a theory
Go ahead. Share, please.
that when a Nigerian film can be accessible to the bike rider,
Look at
the woman selling tomatoes on the market, or the meat seller that can just take a chill or take a pause on their phone, you get a film for 100 naira. I feel like we will reach so many more people and make so much more money than
And that's distribution, right? That's
Yeah.
network.
and that's distribution. I mean, yeah, there's been an attempt at the what's this cinemas. It's like a grassroots
Community cinema.
community cinema,
Yes.
and even maybe new DOD platforms and things that can easily reach the grassroots, but still have some kind of charge. I mean, for instance, if you're paying 100 naira, I trust me, a market one can watch 3 films in a day, and that's there and then. And this is where you have a high concentration of the audience that is actually clamoring to be entertained by our own content.
Yes, the mass
So,
market.
Yeah, so if we do not cater for the mass market, we are still being, selective with our outreach. Yeah.
Awesome. And my final pillar for this episode is regulatory and institutional support. So how would you grow the industry in terms of government policy towards the industry, existence of film commissions or development boards, as well as protection of intellectual property and freedom of expression? Please take a card.
Yeah.
2. Why 2?
I'm giving it a 2 because as a filmmaker, I'm making a film, but I'm afraid.
Why are you afraid?
Because I'm not going to say we don't have laws, but it doesn't protect. That piracy thing is like a cancan that's eating deep into the film industry. And maybe now that we have the big wigs in the industry that if you try and pirate their film, they will go everywhere and block.
Go after
But I don't have to be the one going everywhere to block pirates. Government should be the one, just like the way if you hit someone on the road, they will arrest you. Oh, you just come.
There's a body for that.
It should be a crime. Like if you see it on a platform that is not yours, but then again, we don't have as much support from the government like we should. Maybe we do, but we don't see it. Even right, even permitted to use our word. We don't get that support. And then
That's it.
yeah, that's how I feel.
Awesome.
I stand to be corrected,
Captain.
but then
I mean, why I tend very much to her response towards her response is the fact that and it's a call to the government for help. It's a lot of sacrificial efforts to some of us take loans to make films, to be honest. Some of us borrow money, do ridiculous things just to tell stories. And I feel like the first level of support one would wish to get is from the government. There are countries where they have tax rebates and things that help the industry to grow. I mean, how do you tax something that you've not profited from? Like, so that's why I say it needs a lot of conversations and it needs a lot of practitioners to sit down and iron out the modus operandi of the industry. Right. I feel like the more knowledge the lawmakers have, the better they can be positioned to helping us. Because in some ways they may have policies and ideas that they feel is doing us well, and that might just be breaking our back. So I mean, we need to constantly have these conversations, and that can only happen when both industries are actively involved in each other's activities.
Right.
So call us in for dialogue, come for
Yes.
our conversations, come for our forums, join in our debates, join in our screenings, and then understand how the business works before you slam us with.
And I think I have one more thing to add. Just like the way we have the education system, you have the health system, an average Nigerian can have access to this. But as an entertainer, an average entertainer cannot have access to any funds from the government, which is not good enough.
Awesome. I think there's some new developments by the creative, I think by the board of the creative economy, where they are trying to push out grants and funds. But again, it's still not accessible to everybody.
You just hear it.
You just hear it. It's never really know the next steps. But that's it. So final question, before we wrap up this very interesting episode, I want Folakemi Bello to tell me about a film coming out soon and why should people watch it.
Hi guys, my name is Folakemi Bello. I'm an actor, I'm a film producer, filmmaker as a whole. These guys come out on the 8th of August, Benefactor, the Benefactor, Olumi. It's going to be showing in cinema, all cinemas in Nigeria. It's come out.
Awesome. Final question to Captain Degzy. What do you think is the future of Nollywood?
I think the future is bright for Nollywood. I'm excited about the giant steps practitioners are actually actively taking towards resolving our internal issues. When I say practitioners, I feel good about it because people who have a skin in the game know what we need.
Yes.
And I'm just hoping that everything, favors us all. And then
All.
yeah, because nobody is doing in it for charity. Everybody wants to make profit. Well, when you're making sufficient profit, there's a ripple effect across the filmmaker, and then I'm optimistic about a bright future for Nollywood.
Awesome. Captain Degzy, Adilu Folakemi Bello, thank you so much for joining this episode. Really great candidate.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and that's where we put a pin on today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please share with your industry friends and filmmakers who want to know much more about the industry's progress. Till next time, please remember to follow us on our social media handles, Shock Africa. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.